What does it truly mean to be financially secure today? If you take a look at your bank account, your investments, or your property, are you actually ahead of the curve, or are you quietly falling behind? Welcome back to Finance with Golden. Today, we are stripping away the guesswork and looking at the definitive, updated net worth benchmarks across the United States and Europe, spanning your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and retirement age. Whether you are living in New York, Munich, London, or Los Angeles, financial benchmarks look entirely different depending on how you measure them. But before we put a single number on the screen, we need to address a massive psychological trap that ruins thousands of financial plans every single year: the illusion of the average.
When statistical agencies release wealth data, they often highlight the average net worth. For instance, the average net worth for a household can look incredibly high, frequently pushing past hundreds of thousands of dollars or euros. But here's the problem. Averages are entirely skewed by the top 1% of ultra-wealthy individuals. If a billionaire walks into a local cafe, the average net worth of everyone in that room instantly jumps to millions. But it doesn't help you buy your groceries, does it? That is why on this channel, we focus almost exclusively on the median. The median is the absolute midpoint of society. If you line up 100 people from lowest to highest, the median is person number 50. It shows you what the real everyday reality is. As a quick refresher, your net worth is an incredibly simple calculation. It is the total value of your assets minus your liabilities. Your assets include your cash savings, your brokerage accounts holding low-cost index funds or UCITS ETFs, your retirement accounts like an American 401k or a European private pension, and the current market value of any real estate you own. Your liabilities are everything you owe: your mortgage, any car leasing balances, personal loans, or lingering student lines of credit from your university days. Now, calculating this across different regions requires a bit of nuance. In places with exceptionally high homeownership rates, median net worths often look artificially high on paper because people hold on to family property. In contrast, in major metropolitan hubs where more than half the population rents their homes, cash asset distributions look very different. Our goal today isn't just to see if you are matching the median. Frankly, matching the median will keep you safe, but it will not buy you true financial freedom or an early, comfortable lifestyle. I want you to completely overshoot these numbers. Let's break down exactly how to do that, starting with the foundation, your 20s. If you are in your 20s, the current median net worth for a single adult sits at a modest $10,000. The average, however, climbs past $70,000, once again showing that massive skew from early inheritance or young tech entrepreneurs. When you are in your 20s, your net worth might even be negative, and if it is, please do not panic. This is the decade of heavy financial headwinds. You are likely transitioning out of higher education, dealing with high rental costs in capital cities, and trying to find your footing in your professional career. Let's look at a realistic example. Meet Lucas, a 25-year-old junior software developer. He has $5,000 in a high-yield savings account for emergencies and has managed to accumulate $7,000 in a broad market world index fund using a local neobroker. However, he carries a $15,000 student loan from his university degree. Mathematically, Lucas's net worth is negative $3,000. Is Lucas failing? Absolutely not. He has built a solid liquid foundation, and his debt is structured, low-interest debt. The real focus for Lucas, and anyone in their 20s, is setting the trajectory so that by the time you hit your 30th birthday, you achieve the gold standard milestone, having exactly 1 times your annual salary saved in your net worth. To cross that threshold and hit that milestone by age 30, there are 3 non-negotiable rules you must implement. Rule number 1. You must completely eliminate and avoid high-interest consumer debt. This rarely looks like massive credit cards right away. Instead, it looks like sneaky buy now, pay later schemes, store financing for electronics, or expensive car leasing agreements on vehicles you can't truly afford. If you are paying high interest on anything that depreciates in value, it is a financial emergency. Pay it off immediately. Rule number 2. Automate a 15 to 20% savings rate directly into low-cost, accumulating index funds. Let's look at the actual power of compound interest when you start this early in life. Even a modest $300 a month turns into over $500,000 by your mid-50s, assuming a conservative 7% annual return. That single habit completely eclipses the average retirement nest egg of most citizens. Rule number 3. Focus intensely on scaling your income through skill acquisition. Your 20s are the absolute best time to take calculated risks. Learn a high-income digital skill, master specialized database management, or negotiate your way into higher-paying corporate sectors. Your earning potential is your ultimate wealth lever right now. Welcome to your 30s. This is the decade where personal finance gets incredibly real, and often quite complicated. The median net worth for individuals in their 30s rises to roughly $45,000. The average balloons up to nearly $200,000. Why is there such a massive divergence here? Because your 30s are an identity crisis for your money. Half of your peers will choose to stay highly liquid, renting in vibrant cities, and maximizing their investment portfolios. The other half will buy a house, get married, start a family, and suddenly tie up every single dollar or euro they have into a property down payment. The baseline milestone recommended by major financial institutions is that by the time you turn 40, your net worth should be at least 3 times your annual salary. If your career has progressed and you are earning a strong professional salary of $80,000 a year, your target net worth should be sitting comfortably at $240,000. Let's see how this plays out through a fresh case study. Meet Elena and Mark, a mid-30s professional couple. They bought an apartment valued at $350,000. They have a remaining mortgage of $270,000. They also hold $50,000 across their tax-sheltered investment accounts and keep $15,000 in liquid cash. If you add up their assets and subtract the mortgage liability, their combined net worth is $130,000, or $65,000 each. They are comfortably beating the national median, but notice how vulnerable they are. The vast majority of their wealth is locked inside physical brick and mortar. If the local property market dips or an urgent expense pops up, they cannot easily spend a piece of their living room wall. To ensure you navigate your 30s safely without stalling your wealth accumulation, you must focus heavily on 3 major pillars. First, ruthlessly guard against lifestyle inflation. As your career advances and your income grows, it is incredibly easy to let your spending match your earnings. A premium SUV lease here, luxury vacations there, and suddenly, a high income feels just as tight as an entry-level income did. Keep your core expenses steady and divert your raises directly into investments. Second, maximize your country's specific tax-advantaged accounts. Do not invest in standard, fully taxable brokerage accounts if you haven't filled your local tax wrappers first, whether that means a Roth IRA and 401k in the US or a ISA-NP in Europe. Using these structures correctly can save you tens of thousands of dollars in drag over your lifetime. Third, build a rock-solid 6-month liquidity buffer. In your 30s, the stakes are significantly higher. You might have dependents, older parents who require support, or sudden structural repairs needed for your property. A 3-month buffer is no longer enough. Keep 6 months of true living expenses sitting in a stable, liquid account yielding maximum interest. This isn't wealth-building money. It is armor to protect your long-term investments from being sold off during market downturns. Welcome to your 40s. This is the decade where the financial numbers completely split apart. The median net worth for individuals in their 40s climbs to roughly $135,000. But look at the average, it skyrockets to nearly $400,000. This massive gap occurs because your 40s are your peak earning years. This is the decade where senior professionals, business owners, and disciplined early investors start reaping the real rewards of compounding. Meanwhile, those who didn't plan ahead find themselves trapped with heavy mortgage debt, rising family expenses, and a stagnant asset base. The target milestone for this decade is ambitious. By the time you blow out the candles for your 50th birthday, your net worth should be at least 6 times your annual salary. If you are earning $100,000 a year, you want your net worth to be hovering around $600,000. Let's look at an example of what peak performance looks like here. Meet Sophia, a 43-year-old project director. She has built a highly balanced net worth of $450,000. She owns a home worth $300,000, with a remaining mortgage of just $90,000, giving her $210,000 in home equity. Crucially, she didn't pour all her extra money into the house. She has accumulated $215,000 in global index funds, $25,000 in fixed income, and holds $1,000 in cash. Sophia is highly diversified. She has a strong, tangible real estate anchor, but she also possesses massive liquid wealth that is compounding every single second in the global markets. She is fully prepared for the final stretch. If you want to look like Sophia in your 40s, you need to transition from casual saving to precision engineering. First, you must calculate your exact retirement number. Stop guessing. Use standard safe withdrawal rate models, factoring in your projected national state pension timelines or Social Security. If you want to spend $3,000 a month in today's money during retirement and your baseline social benefits will cover $1,200, your personal investments need to generate $1,800 a month. Using a standard conservative 4% rule, that means you need a personal nest egg of exactly $540,000. Know your target so you can track your progress accurately. Second, it is time to establish a proper estate plan. I know nobody wants to think about mortality in their 40s, but if you have a family, children, or cross-border assets, leaving things to chance is a disaster. Look into creating a clear will, structure your life insurance correctly, and protect your loved ones from massive, unnecessary legal headaches and tax burdens. Third, optimize your debt structure. If you have a legacy mortgage with an incredibly low interest rate locked in from years ago, do not rush to pay it off early. If your mortgage costs you 2% interest, but a simple government bond or high-yield savings account pays you over 3 or 4%, keeping that debt is actually mathematically advantageous. Let your liquidity work for you, rather than sinking it prematurely into an illiquid asset. We have reached the golden decades, your 50s, and your 60s. This is the harvest season for your wealth. As we cross into these age brackets, the numbers reach their peak. In your 50s, the median net worth sits at roughly $250,000, and by your 60s, it reaches nearly $300,000. The averages, meanwhile, cross the $1 million mark. The baseline milestone here is clear. By age 60, you want to have 8 times your salary saved, and by the time you reach traditional retirement at 65, you should be targeting a minimum of 10 times your annual salary. But here is where our strategy shifts completely. In your 20s and 30s, we were focused entirely on aggressive growth, taking risks, and maximizing capital accumulation. In your 50s and 60s, the game changes from wealth generation to wealth preservation. When you are within 10 years of your target retirement date, you can no longer afford to let your entire life savings slide through a sudden 40% market correction right when you want to start withdrawing. This is the time to carefully adjust your asset allocation. Start introducing high-quality government bonds, short-duration fixed-income products, or reliable, dividend-paying cash flow assets. You are building a volatility buffer, ensuring that your upcoming income stream remains completely secure regardless of global market conditions. Take full advantage of local catch-up contribution rules as well. Many corporate and private pension frameworks allow individuals over the age of 50 to make significantly higher tax-deductible contributions. It is the state's way of letting you hypercharge your retirement pool right at the finish line. Don't leave that free money on the table. Ultimately, your net worth is not just a collection of numbers on a spreadsheet. It is a direct measure of your personal freedom. It dictates your ability to make choices. The choice to walk away from a stressful job, the choice to start a passion project, the choice to support your children's education, or the choice to retire in comfort without an ounce of financial anxiety. No matter where you currently stand today, whether you are a 22-year-old with a negative net worth in a tiny rented flat, or a 45-year-old trying to balance a heavy mortgage, the rules of the wealth game remain exactly the same. Track your numbers consistently, minimize your high-interest liabilities, automate your investments, and protect your capital using the right legal and tax structures. I want to hear from you. Drop your age bracket and your target net worth milestone in the comments section below. Let's build an active, accountable community of global investors right here. If you found this comprehensive breakdown valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who is currently planning their financial journey. Thank you so much for watching another episode here at Finance with Golden. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and I will see you in the very next video. Take care and peace.